Ladies and gentlemen, I was first introduced to our valedictorian 8 years ago when he was a mere 4th grader. He and my own son shared classes and even a spotlight as they starred in the Peanut Playhouse production of Rumpelstiltskin. I was impressed with his seriousness and his quick mind even then. My memories also traveled to his middle school years as I was privileged to continue to observe him, especially in the band. Always there was that special quality that shone through his endeavors. When this young man crossed the threshold of Crystal River High School as a green freshman, many of us here tonight continued to take notice of his abilities and capabilities. But my greatest involvement began his sophomore year and continues to the present. He was a very capable leader in my honors English class, and I'll never forget that tape, that work that group did as they did their own version of the world of Julius Caesar. Just this week, I ran across a note that he wrote to tell me how much he enjoyed the project, how much he had learned, and how he felt that the assignment would benefit those who would follow that class. That same year, Crystal River High School had her first academic team. Almost as soon as an announcement was made that there would be tryouts for the team, he was at my door, eager to be on the ground floor of this new venture. And for the past 2 years, he has been captain of that winning group and has again led well in local, regional, and state competitions. I will indeed miss him. We've also worked together in other organizations, such as the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. Almost every Monday morning, Tony would be the first to arrive for the devotional meetings, and often the leader. And I think his punctuality was more than the fact that he lived just across the street. He is dependable and committed, as I'm sure that his track and cross-country coaches, the yearbook sponsor, and most of his teachers will attest. Anthony Joseph Pendino Jr. will attend the University of South Florida to prepare for a field held almost sacred within his family, that of education. You just heard of Roger Weaver being inducted into the Wall of Fame after so many years of education in our own county. Anthony Joseph Pendino Jr. is a grandson of Roger Weaver. His intensity in his studies while here will continue at the University of South Florida, I am certain. And who knows? Regardless of what he says, one day he may return to his alma mater as a faculty member. Tony's reaching this moment has not always been easy, but he has persevered. And tonight he stands before you having attained a perfect 4-point GPA while taking advanced and college-level courses. I have particularly seen a maturation this last year that recommends him well for that part of his life that begins tomorrow. Tony, when I look for new academic team members next year, I fear I might remember the title of a Walt Whitman poem and call out, "Oh, Captain, my Captain!" But then I'll remember quickly that you're away with a new pile of straw, Rumpelstiltskin, spinning new gold, but not that gold that too quickly is spent. That gold that shines in golden deeds, making golden memories. And I will continue to listen for the golden reports that will come. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you our 1990 valedictorian, very proudly, Anthony Joseph Pendino.
Mr. Austin, members of the school board, Mr. Marlette, honored guests, faculty and staff, parents, family, friends, and most importantly, the graduating class of 1990. Good evening. This evening, we have all gathered here for the commencement exercises of the graduating class of 1990. To many of us, this evening may appear to simply be the culmination of the 4 challenging years we have spent at Christ River High School. In reality, tonight is only the beginning of the journey that lies ahead, the journey up the mountain of life. In your mind's eye, I invite you to stand with me at the foot of this mountain. At first, the view is breathtaking. The mountain before us seems to dwarf everything in the past. The climb to the top will be difficult and contains many uncertainties. But each of us must climb that mountain until our own personal dream comes true. As we stand looking towards our goals in life, beside us a small tent has been pitched. This tent represents the last 18 years of our lives. Inside the tent, we were educated and sheltered from the outside world. Now we must leave this pavilion and learn to support ourselves. Some of us will decide to ascend the mountain alone. Others will approach life with their friends. Few of us will remain at home. At first, the challenges are infrequent, and the slope of the mountain almost insignificant. Soon the climb will steepen, and the air will become thinner. The ascent becomes difficult, and you will feel smothered. This portion of the climb occurs during college exams or during the time between jobs. Although we feel smothered, we must keep pressing on towards the highest peak. Later on in life, the slope of the mountain fades into a plateau. The journey becomes simple, often too easy. Each of us will be tempted to stay in the serenity and security of an easy climb. A rest during the journey will only create a lull in your life, but stopping completely will surely form a valley from which there is no escape. As we go further up the mountain, our boots become heavy. They drag us slower and slower towards our goal. The boots symbolize the mistakes we made along the way. For some, the boots will be heavier than others. Each of us will be tempted to cast away our boots to quicken the pace. We cannot do this. Our mistakes are part of us and necessary for the journey. Each of us has learned many things from the weight of our boots. They have made us what we are. As we continue the journey skyward, an impassable wall of stone stands before us. Each of us must scale this sheer section and overcome the greatest obstacle in our lives. To some, the wall represents an unexpected loss of a job. To others, it is the difficulty in securing our first home. To a few of us, it represents the loss of a friend. In order to overcome this obstacle, we can rely on our family and friends to support us. They will give us the boost we need to get over such an impasse. When we finally reach the top, our dream has come true. The journey is complete, and we can reflect upon it with respect. Before closing, I would like to read a poem by Helen Steiner Rice. I found this poem in a collection given to me by Miss Hartley as a graduation present. The title is Climb Till Your Dream Comes True. Often your tasks will be many, and more than you think you can do. Often the road will be rugged and the hills insurmountable, too. But always remember, the hills ahead are never as steep as they seem. And with faith in your heart, start upward and climb till you reach your dream. For nothing in life that is worthy is never too hard to achieve, if you have the courage to try it and you have the faith to believe. For faith is a force that is greater than knowledge or power or skill, and many defeats turn to triumph if you trust in God's wisdom and will. For faith is a mover of mountains. There's nothing that God cannot do. So start out today with faith in your heart and climb till your dream comes true. Each of us has a separate dream and a separate mountain. Some mountains are taller than others. Some of us will never make it to the top. Whether or not we reach our peak isn't important. The most important thing is to make sure that you leave your mark on the mountain of life. Thank you.